is up? What is up, Strike Squad? So, today what we're gonna talk about is becoming a Smurf. Uh like let's be realistic, and this is the truth, is that like you're going into games and there are people who are getting paid to boost accounts, right, up to ranks that they want. And then there are people out there who are literally getting paid pretty much to like win games for other people and just boost their LP up, right? So here's the truth. Like, is the account usually a fresh account with fresh MMR? Yes. Yes, it is. Okay, is there a fact that like their account's MMR is probably overinflated? Yes. Yes, it is. But there's three parts to like any game, right? And it's you have strategy, um, you have your technique, right? Or this is like even in sports, and then you have your talent. Okay, even if you don't have any talent and you're just like the worst player to ever play the game, the technique and strategy that people use, this isn't um, like a sport where the execution is based on like your ability, right? Like this is a game, it's a video game. If everybody's playing Garen, everybody's playing the same champ with the same limits, right? It's just how they execute it. So technique and talent can be taught and it can be learned. And that's good news for us because I want to show you guys an example. So like if we go and we say, hey, let's take a look at, like one of these games, and let's take a look at this mellow person, right? Okay, so this mellow person's previously in silver, rank 466. Okay, kind of interesting. Currently, Diamond 3. Okay, that's a pretty big jump. And not only Diamond 3, but Diamond 3 with a 70%, 75% win rate, right? Like 83% win rate, 87% win rate, 71% win rate, 91% win rate. Okay, so like if we take a look at this person's account, we can say very, very confidently that this person most likely is probably smurfing, right? Like this account is being used to boost accounts. Now, is it guaranteed that that's the case? No. But let's say, hypothetically, that this person's a smurf. Well, here's the thing, guys, that like everybody's like, oh, dude, there's a smurf in my game. There's a smurf in my game. And this is literally the strategy that I took. I would go and I would say, okay, there was a smurf in my game. And I would look up this person, in wherever, player search, and I would say, hey, I want to find this person. Okay, here they are. I want to go into their match history. And I am literally going to start watching their games and seeing what they're doing that I'm not doing. So when I would play against Smurf's top lane, when I was in Emerald 3 and Emerald 4, I got so frustrated that I was like, there's no reason why these people can do this and I can't. I just have to learn how they're doing this to me so then I can do it to other players, right? So I recommend kind of taking this approach because here's the thing. There's going to be Smurfs. There's just no way around it. Especially in Emerald, it is probably one of the worst elos for Smurfing right now. Plat, Emerald, I don't really know Diamond too well, but I can tell you I encountered more Smurfing in Plat and Emerald than I have ever encountered at all playing ranked League of Legends in the past like 10 years. So when you see a Smurf, like obviously you're gonna do your best, right? But after you do your best, you should be telling yourself that, hey, when I get done with this game, I'm going to this person's profile and I'm gonna check out what their win rate is, excuse me, and what kind of game they're playing, right? Like let's take this opportunity to analyze and really like look through the window at someone who we know is better than us because they're getting paid to literally boost accounts, so they're most likely better than you. or me. Maybe they're not, but if we were as good as the Smurfs that we're losing to, we'd be winning, right? Like that's the logic at play here. So I really think that you should adopt a strategy of like studying these people, because if you can find out how they're doing it, then there's a good chance that you get out of your elo and your elo specifically. Because if you talk to people who Smurf, they will tell you that there are definitely things that they do in Emerald 3 and Emerald 4 or in D4 and in, Gold 1 that they don't do in Diamond, or that they don't do in Plat 2, right? Because there's different ways to carry in different ranks, you know. Um, I would say that as you get higher, you learn that there's really like only a universal way to carry across all games. But that aside, I wanted to make this video to kind of talk about this concept because I don't think a lot of people are doing it. I don't think a lot of people are taking the opportunity, especially in lower elo, to say like, hey, there was a Smurf in my game. Let me go learn from this guy so that I can emulate what they're doing. Because if you become the Smurf in every single game you play, then you're going to start climbing, right? Because every single game's not going to have a Smurf. Or at least if you're that good and you're using those tactics and you're implementing those strategies on your side, then if the enemy team has a Smurf, at least now it's a level playing field, right? Now it's not going to happen overnight. Um, and I definitely talked about some concepts in some other videos, like how to learn League, and how to break things down from like decision, execution, and outcome that kind of help identify how to actually implement the things that you learn. So it's great to increase your knowledge base by doing things like this and looking at Smurfs, but then to actually get better at the game, we have to implement those changes. So the implementation process, how to actually learn League, I have a video on that. I think it's really helpful. It breaks it down. Um, but yeah, I think that I'm really just kind of pushing this video out there to give people the option to change their view on the Smurf problem. It's not going away, right? They're always going to be in the game, as far as like we know. Me turning a corner and stopping to think and getting to a place where I was no longer mad when I got a Smurf and it was just another resource for me to get better at the game, I think helped me a lot as I made it out of like this rut where I was just bouncing in between, Emerald 3 and Emerald 4 7 times. Um, so I hope that this might be something fresh that kind of helps you look at the game differently and kind of encourages you to do something different. So let me know if this was helpful or not. Like and subscribe if you like the content. There's a lot of viewers who keep coming back, but they don't subscribe. It helps out the channel a lot. It helps out me a lot to know, like if this is going well. Uh, but I will see you guys in the next one.